Riot is cooked. Slowly but certainly, Riot Games have been pushing themselves to the brink of destruction. And it is happening just faster and faster over the time. It all started, in my opinion, with Valorant, when the lead people in charge of Valorant literally just came out and said, yeah, Valorant is for foodies, role playing, not actual being a game. And anyone who does not respect degeneracy and things like that is gonna get banned. That was already pretty bad. And then other bad things happened. Arcane Season 2 happened. Now, personally, I don't think it was the worst thing ever, but it was woke in a lot of senses. It had a lot of things just pushed in to appease a certain group of people that are probably not going to be with us and with us even until Tuesday because the percentile is just too high. Well, honestly, not high enough. But I digress. YouTube. Just joking. Okay? And, now the most recent thing that Riot has been done that has been pissing off people is, well, actually before that, even in League of Legends, it's the fact that literal $200 skins exist, okay? World of Warcraft's pushing out $100 skins in desperation. Riot Games is doing that with $200 skins. Let that sink in. And the most important part that recently has happened, if you do not know, I don't blame you because who gives a shit about League of Legends anymore, is the fact that they removed hex-stitch chests. And the reason why they removed that is because they literally just accidentally admitted that Riot is completely out of touch at this point. They specifically stated the reason they're removing the chests is because rioters don't see the point in them because they have everything for free, so the chests don't have value for them. Yeah, Riot literally accidentally admitted that they are out of touch. Sad. And, that's also considering that Riot has closed down a bunch of game development and a lot of things that have happened that symbolizing the slow decline of Riot.
Even though they've just walked things back, people are not thrilled with Riot Games right now. And that is putting it lightly, and it's all about how Riot are responding to, in their words, quote, an increasing number of players ended up with substantial skin collections for free. Yes, for free. That was a problem. And their initial solution was kind of drastic. It was a massive stepping back of League's reward systems, so much so that their new model to many people...
If Rel didn't have a good body, I would be so pissed. But since she's kind of breedable, I guess I will reserve my reservations.
Barely even would have felt worth playing. And that's on a stack of other criticisms. But now, after significant backlash, Riot have announced a walkback of many of the changes, but underlying issues still remain. It's one of those things where to a lot of people it feels like, hang on a second, that looked way worse. And now you've walked it back, but it's still worse than what we had before. I'm not saying that it's a conspiracy and that they always planned this. I don't think that's the case. But the real reason why Riot's doing all...
They so overblew Jinx with... Season 2 just pushed everything to 120 that did not need to be 120 and so many things. It just got so much gayer for no reason.
But the real reason why Riot's doing all of this still remains. And it seems that what we've got now is a half measure, and the direction of travel is still concerning. To start off, people were already suspicious because of Battle Pass changes made earlier this year, where basically Riot wanted to move most of League of Legends' XP and reward systems to the free track of the Battle Pass, but with no level up bonuses, basically, and a few other things. Players, especially the most engaged players, just found...
I don't know about you, but I have... But no, admittedly, I haven't really used the Battle Pass because I quit League of Legends when this was not really in. But for the one day that I came back, I don't know. I didn't even care about the Battle Pass. I think it's extremely poorly designed, to say the least.
the new system to be substantially less rewarding, and initially this looked so bad that it completely appeared that Riot had lost their minds and went completely insane. Now then we found out that somebody made a mistake pushing this live, where someone at Riot simply got their calculations wrong. So fixes were made, that was good, but of course, obviously the problems did not stop. And the center of all of today's stuff is this, the humble Hex Tech chest, a loot box. Now, these and the keys that you need to open them can be obtained for free, for an example, as an end of match reward for real good performance. And the intent was like Counter-Strike. You get some chests, but you
So, no one's getting the chest ever? Okay.
can't open them. So you need to buy keys to open them. And then they sprinkle in a few earnable keys to, get people started, your free sample. Now this meant that technically, yeah, you could get skins without paying money. Riot initially decided to remove the entire system in favor of the Battle Pass. And that meant that if you enjoyed getting the odd free skin through a Hex Tech chest, basically screw you, pay up, and you kind of felt like an Overwatch 1 player transitioning to Overwatch 2. The new system just felt worse in every way.
Oh no, when you get compared to Overwatch 2, you know you're done.
People were pissed, so Riot decided to record a video from the head of the League of Legends studio and an executive producer, and that video did not go well. People wanted an apology and they wanted change. What they got was an explanation, one that basically said, hey, this game needs to earn money, it costs money to make, seemingly it seems their costs are going up, but their revenue isn't going up as much, and that appears to worry them.
Yeah. This has been true for years. You know how you know when a game's revenue is stagnating? When they introduce $100 Longboy mounts, when they introduce $200 skins, when they introduce some shitty pay-to-win mechanic, when they introduce a battle pass. Because, again, publicly traded companies are the devil's lettuce, effectively, nowadays for gaming. And that is because, you know what this is? This is a publicly traded company's line, and it always must go up. Again, not a meme. How many times do I have to say this? Not a meme. And when you are acquiring new players, you have not reached the peak of market saturation. When we're talking about publicly traded companies or anything in the public eye, saying that you have reached market saturation is effectively saying, hey, it's only downhill from there because we're fucking idiots. Okay? So that's how it works. They never want to do that. But the League of Legends has reached market saturation 5 years ago, I would probably say honestly. So, the fact is, when you reach market saturation, you don't no longer have this incline in players. Now your players are going to go down and your revenue is going to go down. Since, even if your player numbers stay the same, the line can't go like this. Line must go always up. And, well, the only way you can make line go up now, since you can't acquire new players, is more shit for them to buy. Again, this is the sin. This is the primordial sin of being a publicly traded gaming company. Because line always must go up. And that means the moment your player numbers stagnate, you need to add these things that cost $100 or $200. Otherwise, congratulations, you're getting fired.
Appears to. We'll get to that later. Now, let's talk about the walkback. Riot announced that they are bringing the Hex Tech chests back, but with significant changes. Oh yes, and the changes actually do matter. So instead of earning them through Champion Mastery, you'll now be getting them through the Battle Pass, because we all love a good Battle Pass. 10 chests and keys per act, with 8 on the free track. Now, they're also adding 2 chests per season.
You know what's the crazy thing? At some point, if they make... Here's the bad part about the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass is implemented here just because Riot needs more money. Again, line must go up. But here is the problem, right? Line must go up, but line can't go up like this. If it goes down like this, congratulations, have you considered getting yourself a new job? Because you're fired. Because line is going to go down like this at some point because of your decisions to make the game too good. So, Riot here is stuck in an interesting position in the sense that the Battle Pass can't be too good. Yes, they are intentionally making a bad Battle Pass. I know, sounds retarded, but wait. And that's because, again, line needs to go slowly up. So they need to get a little bit of people by making it just that much better than pure shit. So this many people buy it. And then the next year when people stop buying it, they will improve it again just by this much. They can't actually give you a good functional battle pass because if everyone wants to buy it, your job position security is safe for maybe a year. And then you're going to get fired because you no longer can make line go up. Now the biggest risk is that line goes down because people get tired of the battle pass. Because here's also the kicker that no one tells you, and I'm just going to tell you this for free. It's the fact, even if the battle pass is really good, at some point people are going to get tired of it and just literally forget to renew it because they have already experienced everything the battle pass gives you. Even if something is great, people are still gonna choose to get kicked in the balls that, one time a year or whatever. And that's why people are not gonna constantly buy the battle pass if it's great but it keeps being the same. It needs to improve, it needs to become different in a way. And that's also the problem.
Through honor-based missions, and in total people can get up to 60 chests per year over 6 seasons, which is actually compared to the previous of 52 a year. So it actually does initially think, hang on, this is way better than the old system. But no, it's not. Because this requires battle pass progression, it will likely require substantially more play than before. I suppose you could technically get more, but from an inordinate amount more hours of gameplay. That's great for Riot. It still builds the business model that they obviously do want to pivot towards. And hey, at least it still is also giving people the experience with Hextech chests that they're kind of used to. But many players just see this as a less straightforward version of the previous system that's just obviously tied to the Battle Pass as the center of Riot's monetization strategy. All of this, though, reeks of Riot needs more money. That makes people think, why do they need more money? What's actually going on here? And can I expect everything to get worse? So let's talk about Riot reeking of greed.
You can always expect everything to get worse. That's the beauty of the modern day.
Here's an example of some, I think, justifiable outrage that went viral and X for good reason. Just to quote, scams on a daily basis, low value $250 skins, mythic recolors for $125 and post layoff quality declines. That sounds bad, but it's obviously how people feel. And even though Riot have made some changes, the internet remembers. Now, in response to another criticism, the epic Mordekaiser skin that they were doing, which could cost up to $250, has actually now been delayed and updated to feel a bit more exalted because it's of the exalted category. To get you up to speed in that, they've just started to do crazy.
Listen, just tell me a naked Brill skin, okay? $200 easy.
Expensive skins that are via gacha system. There was one themed around.
No, wait, what's her name? Yeah, wait, it is Brill. The new one, the new one at the start here, okay? That one. With the petite figure. Oh, yes.
Jinx with, of course, the Arcane tie-in. That got a lot of backlash. People just thinking $250 for a skin? What the hell is going on? Obviously, if you're a veteran of playing gacha games, well, you think $250? Those are weak numbers. In this case,
if you're retarded, you're an idiot. What a sentence.
Though, the Mordekaiser skin was following the same model, but it genuinely seemed to be quite a bit less skin for the same amount of price. So Riot have delayed it. They're also committing, they say, to making these changes across all planned Exalted skins that are coming this year, and they've said they'll be promoting them less heavily through the game client, which I think is kind of interesting, right? It's just that thing where if the game client is too aggressive in wanting your money, it starts to feel hostile, where free-to-play players understand that money needs to be made, but you can still make that feel bad, and that will make somebody go somewhere else. Now, as for rewards, they are planning on now fewer skins on the Battle Pass. They're dropping from 6, 2 being free and 4 being paid, to just 3 themed skins per act, plus of course anything that's coming through the Hex Tech chests. And with there being less but better skins, they say they can just theme those like better with the champions. So the idea, right, is that more Hex Tech chests will potentially be more appealing than, say, a skin for a champion that you don't play or like want on the battle pass, because basically people do value the Hex Tech chests. But in terms of player value, this still does represent a reduction in objective value for the battle pass, right? Because it does have less skins overall and potentially less mythic essence than before. So as all of this comes together, there are some wins, but it's a bit of a, we've taken steps back, we've taken a step forward. Are we worse off? Probably. Now, to many people, wrapping all of this up and thinking, good lord, it's only, March, and we've already had this many dramas in League, surely this is another example
The hell is this woman just randomly fighting Pantheon?
of enshittification. And with that,
And she wins?
really
no
wonder.
Nope. Oh, she gets crushed. Good.
Blame is falling to one
Good.
man, Dylan Jaja. Or maybe it's Jaja. Anyway, the point is, he's been the CEO of Riot Games since 2023. He started that role just before Riot's largest
I didn't even hear that Riot has a new CEO. Huh?
layoff round. So that was lovely.
Cool.
And to many people, this is when Riot began to slide down a slippery slope, even though, of course, Dylan had been president of the Riot board since 2017. Now, obviously, it would be fair to ask if something has changed here, and actually in this case, something did change. So there's one thing. In 2022, the then CEO of Riot, Niccolo Laurent, announced that Riot had secured its 2023 budget, and that budget was, quote, the biggest of all time. Now, remember, Riot Games is 100% owned by Tencent, so this is a budget that would be agreed between the leaders of each company. And you might then be thinking, hang on a second, they secured their largest ever budget. That should be a good thing, but then they did layoffs, and they're now massively upping their monetization. What the hell happened? Well, at this stage, we can assume profit.
Because they didn't make money with a lot of shit. Arcane 2 did not work out, okay? Obviously, for self-explanatory reasons. Maybe you shouldn't appease the woke gay crowd that much, right? Okay? Valorant is cooked because same issues, honestly. And League of Legends couldn't leave it. The Noxian season is, yeah, kind of not honestly there. So, the only thing that's really making money is League of Legends, and yeah, that's pretty much it. These are all obviously signs. I mean, even Bellier can tell. And we know, boys, when Bellier can tell something that I agree with, it's probably very obvious to people who actually know a thing or two about this stuff, because Bellier's pretty fucking clueless on almost everything. But yeah, it's just the fact that they're not doing good. The reason why you fire employees is to just cut costs. Because at the end of the day, if you don't expend X amount of money, that kind of still works in your favor, obviously.
Profitability and quite a bit else. So how the hell do we explain this? The answer is actually, it's pretty damn simple. You see, if you've had a budget increase for 1 year and then you do layoffs, that actually does make sense. You see, whenever Riot did those layoffs, they actually had real good severance packages and, all of that stuff. It costs you a lot of money in the now to lay people off. Of course, the entire point is you're changing the force structure of your organization so that it can be more profitable as you move forward into the future. So that would be a short-term expensive move in order to, they would hope, long run, be more profitable. And of course, the justification of all of this, like more expensive skins and gacha and all of that stuff, has basically been, for the amount of money it costs to make League, we are seeing the ratios of things are getting worse, so they need more money. Now, the way we had seen this most publicly before was essentially the luxury skins, like as an example, that one from Arcane, the Faker skin that made a hell of a lot of headlines. That's one side of things. The other side of things is converting.
It doesn't even look that good. That's the thing. It's like a 200... People still bought it, but it doesn't even look that good. That's the funny part.
Your non-paying players into payers, basically into what the industry would call minnows. People who are not going to spend ludicrous amounts of money in all of the skins, but people who will buy every one of your battle pass.
Wow, he really did fucking Google. It's minnows, then it's dolphins, then it's whales. Since I said whales, now you know what we're talking about. Yeah, but Bellier did wiki something 10 out of 10.
This is basically them trying to get that going, and that's why Hextech chests were initially just killed. But obviously, the Hextech chests are back. They are back, though, on the pass, because ultimately, how they're trying to bring up that base of revenue from their people who aren't big spenders is via the battle pass. And it's actually this where we start to see a similarity with Overwatch, but it's not the only similarity. This is all a psychological thing called anchoring, and it has hit both.
No, this is not a psychological thing called anchoring. Dad, does Bellier just know about anchoring? I think I have I think I have unironically heard him talk about fucking anchoring at least 10 times at this point in my life, and it's getting sadder every time I hear it. Okay? Now, a psychological thing that happens with a battle pass that's payable is if it's always in front of you, you always have the opportunity to show people what they could get if they bought the battle pass. And the battle pass is typically not that expensive, right? It's your 10, 15, maybe $20 if it's really expensive, right? And what happens there is the more a player plays the game, the more buying the battle pass becomes enticing. Because at some point, every player is going to be like, ah, man, I need just only 2 Riot MacGuffins to buy my new Riot MacGuffin skin. And they're going to be like, how am I going to get them? Well, if I buy my battle pass, I have accumulated already 5 of them. And you know, you want to kind of buy it more then. Because your battle pass will accumulate the things that you would get for buying it. The more you play, the bigger the pot of the battle pass becomes. And that is something people kind of want. It's pretty ridiculous, but this has nothing to do with anchoring. Well, Bellier's probably gonna talk about anchoring making it normal to pay $200 for a faker skin, but I honestly don't give a shit. In any case, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That was Bellier News, 10 out of 10. Bye.